G'day guys, welcome back.
In this week's video, we're on the topic of the great debate, gazebo or awning. Let's get into it.
I just want to start off this video with, we are not sponsored by anyone we talk about. We want to give you our honest feedback on the past 3.5 years of use and abuse of our equipment.
These are our own thoughts. This is what we've come up with after using the products and using a variety of products, not just one type or
one set brand.
We've used a variety of things and we've found what works best for us. And that doesn't mean that it's going to work best for you, but we want to help you guys.
Over the last couple of years, we've used both gazebos and awnings. So we've got a pretty good idea of how they work, what instances are better for each, whether it's better for a gazebo or better for an awning.
So we'll start on our thoughts on gazebos. So the gazebo that we've been using for the last 3.5 years is the Coleman Ultra Compact.
It's a nice small gazebo. Recently bought a new one. That's the newer one there, even though it doesn't look that new. We've only just recently bought that one. And the awnings that we are comparing are all the King's awnings, as well as a couple of the ones I fitted myself during work.
Start off with, we're going to compare the sizes. So you can get so many different size gazebos. This one specifically is a 2.4 by 2.4.
You can get 3 by 3, 3 by 2, 3 by 4, 3 by 4, 4 by 4, 5 by 5. They get big, but that also does mean that the sizing when they're packed away gets big. Like this one here is, as in the title, is an ultra compact one, and it packs up to, I'd say that's about just over 1 meter in length. Normal other bags where you get the bigger, like the 3 by 3s and the 4 by 4s, they can be up to literally 2 meters in bag length. Like they get big.
This one, it fits perfectly in our canopy and also the back of the patrol. Like we have no trouble packing it in. It's not a question of do we actually need it because it takes up so much space. It just fits perfectly, so we can just take it everywhere with us. It just lives in the car, to be honest with you. It just lives in the canopy of the Ranger because it just fits so well and it doesn't take up that much space. But when you're on the topic of awnings, they're on the outside of your car.
And they just bolt on somewhere. All you need is a roof rack, rooftop awning, even just a piece of bar. You can literally mount them to your car. So awnings and gazebos both work par and par. You obviously need a long enough car to where you can have mounts in strong enough places for the awning so that it doesn't snap in the wind or bend up or do anything special. But as well with the gazebos,
if you
need enough boot space, you have to fit your gazebo of choice.
Yeah, if you didn't have this one, that's where you
You had the normal 2 meter ones, you can only use your 2 front seats. Or if you have a ute, you can take up half of your canopy space.
So on size, they're pretty on par. Like your awning doesn't take up any space in your car. It's on the outside of your car. You just need to be able to mount it. With the gazebos, depending on what gazebo you have,
run issues and with your vehicle boot space. If you have kids, you can't have a normal gazebo. I've got quite a big drawer setup, and it still fits in the back of my car. So I feel like your boot space can fit if you decide to get this one. This one's from Bunnings. You can fit them almost anywhere.
These would fit in pretty much all the little hatchback boots and everything.
My parents had one in the back of their Commodore for years.
Yeah.
And they fit anywhere.
But then also that's on the topic, if you get a normal gazebo, then you're gonna
run into issues with
boot space or car space.
Hey guys, sorry for interrupting this video. I just wanted to let you know that our website is now live. You can head to it here through this QR code, or down below in the description there is a link that will get you straight to our website. Another one, guys, if you're wanting to support us, the best things you can do is liking and subscribing to us. I know it's a cliche thing and everyone says it, but it does help us a lot. It helps us keep creating these videos and it helps us get out here a lot more. Cheers, guys. I'll let you get straight back to this video.
Next, we're going to talk about practicality. So when we talk about practicality, we're talking about how easy it is to set up.
How easy it is to pack up,
Yeah.
because that's a very, very important one. Some products are really easy to set up, but impossible to pack up. So we'll start with you set up, you rock up to camp, an awning. Depending on your awning, you can get the ones that come straight out, the just like one direction awnings. You can set them up 80% of the time by yourself. The 270s, if you've got a freestanding, you can set it up 100% by yourself. If you've got one with poles, like what I've had, if it's a little bit of wind, you will need assistance to set up.
Or it can be almost impossible.
It's depending on wind and everything. And then we move to gazebos. You rock up to camp, you can set up a gazebo by yourself. It takes longer.
It is easier with two people.
It is easy with two people because you just do each side. One does one side, one does the other two legs. But in the wind, you are also a bit safer with the gazebo. You can pull the legs out. You can hammer each leg in straight away into the ground.
Yeah.
And then you can lift it up as you please. With an awning, you have to have it all set up, the legs all out if it's a standing awning. If it's a freestanding awning, they're in their own only. You can literally walk out and clip it. And then we move to packing up. We'll start with gazebos. The gazebos depends on your brand. Some brands are really easy to pack up. Some brands are not. They take the skin off your fingers. They can, putting them in the bag sometimes can be an absolute mission.
Yeah. With our common one, we haven't had any issues. We find it quite easy to pack it up and get it back in the bag.
And you can very easily pack it up by yourself.
Yeah.
As well. Like one person can set up and pack up this specific awning by themselves. I have seen like people with their big kins gazebos having lots of issues with them in general.
See, also the bigger you go, you're gonna need help to pack it up
because they're going to be heavy. They're going to be. They're not going to. The joints are going to be longer, so it's going to be. You have to actually lift up each side to push it in. And then with the awnings, to pack up a single way, one direction awning is pretty similar to, depending on wind speeds, as when you put it out, you can sometimes pack it up by yourselves. The freestanding awnings, you can do everything by yourself in seconds, literally seconds.
Yeah.
But with the 270 awning and the 180 awnings that have legs, if there's any wind speed, you need help and you need quite a bit of help.
It can also take a lot longer. So, for example, we've been using the King's 270 awning.
The one with
the poles, not the freestanding. And it does take a bit to pack up, as you have to do each section bit by bit. Pull out a section, pull the leg up, then you go on to your next section, pull the leg up. So you definitely need two people to do it. I do not think that you could do that by yourself.
And it also depends on the height of your car.
Yeah.
So where you've got it mounted really is important. If you're not a tall person, you will struggle. I'm 6 foot and I struggle to do it on my car. My car's not that big.
Yeah, I have to be full stretch tippy toes to help Riley pack it up. So it definitely is a struggle. So that's where your brands and the type of awning you have matters and is preference to what setup you have. A practicality point is being able to leave your gazebo at camp and go for a drive. With your awning, you obviously have to pack it up. Now, when you have a freestanding awning that just is easy to swing back around and pack up, that's not a big of an issue. But when you have one like ours that takes time to pack up and is a bit of a pain, it's just another thing where maybe preference a gazebo. Because then you're not having to pack all your stuff up. Because another thing is, like, if it's bad weather and you want to go for a drive, you have to pack everything up and put it back in the car. Whereas if you have the gazebo, you can just leave your table.
You can leave everything
your
underneath,
chairs
sheltered.
underneath, and it's fine. So that's another stand of practicality where you have to make that
Yeah,
choice.
you can just leave it set up.
Depending on what you're doing and where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one would be weights. Lots of people are quite stressed and very, very close to weights of your vehicle. Having an awning permanently mounted on your vehicle will bring your weights up. The freestanding awnings, the quite big ones, they weigh a lot. They do. I don't have the exact numbers, but I'll probably put a couple of examples, like literally here. They weigh a fair bit, and sometimes people don't have that 30 kilos. They don't have that 15 kilos that of payload on their car.
So they can spare.
Whereas with the gazebo, you can constantly take it in and out, and they don't weigh anywhere near as much as some of the freestanding awnings. The big ones can.
Yeah, you can get up there.
So this gazebo here, as an example, weighs 13 kilos, and it's one of the smaller ones. So the bigger ones can get quite heavy. They can get upwards of 30 to 40 kilos. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, possibly. But we're going like by size and by how big the bags are.
Yeah.
The awnings that are smaller, they weigh next to nothing. Those one-way awnings, they don't weigh that much. My awning over there, I believe, weighs about 25 kilos. But depending on how much weight you have balanced throughout your car, that can make a lot of issues. As well as where you're putting your weight. If you have all your weight at the top, your car's going to become swayy. So that's where you got to be careful within that. You can store the gazebos on your roof, in your boot, in the trailer. If you go full driving, like you're going through the tracks where you actually where they're quite tight, you need to move around, you can have it out the way. An awning is always on your side of your car. You always see people brush up against a tree, snap their awning. You see people brush up a tree, completely rip a hole straight through your bag, straight through your canvas. Depending on vehicle and what you use it for, could play a massive factor in gazebo or awning as well.
This is where it's a big preference thing. No, we can say one thing, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Everyone has a different way that they're doing things, what they're doing, why they're doing it, and that's where it's all personal preference. Everything we say today could have no relatability to you guys. You just might not relate to it at all. So we're going to talk about some of our personal experiences using both products.
We've had some issues in wind with awnings. So my one, as an example, was pinned down. It wasn't much of a breeze, but it flinned up over the car. That's the 271 with poles. It didn't break anything, luckily, but you can get pretty serious damage with that happening to you. We've had other ones with the One Direction awnings, just flin up as well. Had them bent brackets. Yeah, it's all dependent on wind speed and brands. So obviously, the more you spend, you would hope the better quality it is and it will withstand the wind more. With the awnings, we just had not much luck with anything in the wind. Like even if there's a very, very small breeze, they are either a pain to set up, clean up, they lift up randomly, even when pegged down, just because of the size of them.
Yeah.
And how they...
I'm a bit of a parachute. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird to say because we haven't had that issue with any of the gazebos. We haven't had one lift off on us, whether that's just us putting them down properly, not really having much of an issue with wind with them, maybe.
Yeah, our gazebo has been through wind, rain, full-on storms. We've been out there when there's been a couple of big storms. Yeah, and we've had no issues at all with that. As you guys probably noticed, our awning's actually not on the patrol anymore. And we just found that we weren't using it enough to warrant having it on the car. So we've taken it off. I feel like awnings are good for things such as when you're heading down to the beach and you just want to chuck it up so you have a bit of shade, and trips like that, like day trips, for example, they're perfect use.
Where you're not going to move your car.
Yeah.
And you're just going to stay there can be like set up at the beach. You've got your whole zone ready to fish. That type of thing is where awnings are pretty good, but you could also do that with the gazebo.
Yeah, we've we've used our at Waruna Dam and places like that. We've just chucked it up for the day, and it's been great. You're not having to take that extra piece of equipment with you.
It's
to
just
set it
already
up.
on the
It's
car.
already there. But yeah, we just found that we weren't getting enough use out of it, and I don't know whether that's we're just not using it for those instances. Like we don't go to the beach enough, and we don't have those instances where we're just going on day trips and we need it, or that it's the specific one that we have and we're just finding that it's not cutting it. And we are potentially looking at getting
A freestanding one.
freestanding one.
We don't know if we're going to go 270 again. It's good to have the shade wrapped around. Like you can fit lots of people underneath it. Like late at night, where you're just all sitting around your car, or if there's a bit of rain, like you can fit a lot of people underneath them. But it doesn't seem to be worth that much size of bag weight on it on the side of your car. At the
It's
top
also
of the
the
roof.
cost as well. It's where we're like, is that something that we need to spend money on? Are we going to get the wear out of it?
Yeah,
make it
the
worth
use out of an awning to where they cost. Awnings cost a lot of money. The freestanding ones and the bigger name ones, they cost a lot of money. And if you're not really going to use it every second week, there might not be a point in spending that much money.
to where we're at now and the type of adventures that we're going on. I just think at the moment that it's not worth it for us. However, in the upcoming year, we're planning on doing a big trip up north, and that's probably something that we would need, being on the beach. You know, you're just driving and you're going to be somewhere for that whole day, and that's where you would use it.
And like storage, like when you're on a big trip, you're tight storage.
You need to maximize your space. So having a gazebo in your car is obviously going to take up space that you could be using for something else.
Or on your roof, that just creates more wind drag. It's just, that's where having an awning on the side of your car already mounted out the way will be better, because then you've saved storage in your car, on your car, in your trailer.
Mm. Now, when we're talking about this, we're talking specifically for the patrol, but we have more actually been looking at getting one for the Ranger, as that I feel like is something that we would actually use a lot more. Now, if we get a 270 awning, we're going to specifically have to get one that has the hole that so you can still use your rooftop tent, which there are a couple out there. Obviously, we're not as big on a budget
As some people.
And where we started a couple of years ago, Riley was an apprentice. Yeah, we didn't have all the money in the world to be going out and buying expensive gear. But in the long run, we paid that money for that King's awning and we haven't really gotten the wear out of it. So then it's like, sometimes you do need to invest in good pieces, and you will, over the course of its lifetime, it's worth spending that little bit of extra money. But back to the Ranger, that's a car that when we go somewhere, we tend to, for example, when we go out to the river, we tend to just leave it. We don't get in and drive around. So that's somewhere where an awning,
you just get up, set it up, and you've got constant shade.
Could be a good option.
Yeah, because we don't drive it around.
Yeah.
We kind of just set up and leave it. That's our base.
Yeah. So that's where an awning could potentially be a better option for us than taking the gazebo. So a big factor in
everything to do with vehicles and accessories
is the cost.
Awnings, you can range from $200 all the way up to probably $3,000. Probably more.
If not
you
more,
can probably get more.
Yeah.
Like the cheaper ones, you can get like the pull-out ones for like $200. You can get sometimes like Kings do the specials where you can get. I bought that old awning for I think $350. I think it was quite a few years ago on special before they released the freestanding awnings.
So with the gazebos, the specific one that we have, when we first purchased it 3.5 years ago, it was $99 from Bunnings. They have gone up to about
$130
now. which is still pretty good.
So that is one of the cheaper gazebos that we have found. You probably can get cheaper. I'm pretty sure the Kings ones cost about the same, the bigger Kings ones.
About 150, I think.
But prices you can get upwards of $1,000.
That's obviously you're gonna get
top quality,
and
but it's going to be huge.
The huge ones, but
the big heavy ones that cannot set up by yourself. Realistically, you can't take in a car, but they are out there.
And that's where, when you look at costs, gazebos can be a more cost-effective for someone that is on a budget compared to the awning. If you're wanting something that's a little bit better quality for not as much, that's where your gazebos probably win, because your lower costing awnings are not always the best, and you're probably going to have issues with them. Whereas you can spend the same amount on a gazebo that is going to last you for years, and you're not going to have any problems with it. So,
obviously, as well, you've got like the second-hand options. I don't really see gazebos for sale much. When they do, they're still like $300 because they're the more expensive ones. But awnings are all over Marketplace, all over Gumtree, all the time. Like, you can get a second-hand King's awning for, I reckon, $100, probably $50 sometimes if the bag's ripped. And then those freestanding awnings that usually cost like $1,500, you can sometimes get for about $800. Sometimes, again, that changes everywhere, and people pay as much as they want to pay for second-hand gear.
obviously, when you spend more, you are going to get better quality.
Hopefully, you hope that better quality.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do spend more and it does still break straight away.
Yeah, with the cost, you do get stronger product. It's going to last longer, better quality in the fabric and the bags as well.
Bags are pretty important.
Yeah, we found with our King's awning bag that it's not the best.
And that's not just our one, that's the King's bags in general.
Yeah.
They appear to be not the best. They do sell second-hand bags, but I haven't really looked into it. I don't think I'm going to either. You can poke a stick through anything. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it. Yeah, the stick can go through literally anything. So we want to go through some recommendations for you.
Products that we used.
Used, mates have used.
Yeah, that we like.
If you're going to go a gazebo, we cannot recommend enough this gazebo. You can buy them from Bunnings for $130. It is worth every single penny of that, we believe. We have not had any issues. The one that we've had before has been literally up and down Western Australia. Taken it to Broome, Exmouth, taken it to Esperance, we've taken it to Windy, we've taken it through storms. It has been through literally everything. It's had water inbuilt in it, like through like a giant rainstorm, and it didn't collapse. It's just, they're quite nice. And even if they do break, they are cheap enough that you can buy another one.
Yeah.
That was a big one for us. When we first bought it, we were a little bit skeptical about it because it was quite cheap and it was quite small, and we were worried about how strong it would be. But it is, I believe, is the best gazebo you can get out there.
Yeah. The other, obviously, Coleman's a really good brand. All the other gazebos are really good as well.
Yeah.
Family friends of ours have used them for years.
They're the bigger ones. We like the 3x4 meter ones, the quite large ones. And again, like, no issues there at all. And had them for years. Could not recommend this gazebo enough. And now we've got some awnings we'd recommend. If you're on a super, super tight budget, I would highly recommend getting one of the King's One Direction awnings, like off Marketplace. As long as it's not broken, they are really, really good for entry level, and you can get them cheap, like $150. I wouldn't expect you to spend more than $200. I'm pretty sure brand new they're $200.
Yeah.
But I would highly recommend if you're like on an extreme budget and you just want an awning, I would stay away from the 270 poled awnings. If I'm being 100% honest, just with my issues with you need more than one person to set up. That's any brand. I don't think I'd get one again. The freestanding ones that you can have poles would be good because that's just extra support.
Yeah.
But ones that you need the poles to use it, I would recommend to stay away from them.
Yeah. The King's 270 freestandings are pretty good. We've got
one of our mates has got one. We haven't really used it enough to say if it's really good or it's bad or.
But like first impressions,
they're really good. They're
pretty good.
They're actually built quite well.
Value for money, instead of spending,
they're literally half the price, sometimes quarter of the price of everyone else on the market.
Yeah. So that's where if you wanted 270 freestanding, but you don't have the money to spend, then that's an option for you guys to look at.
You can get them off Marketplace as well. I have seen them for like $400 secondhand. I'm not entirely sure how much they are brand new. I'll put that up here. But that is also a great option if you're on a tight budget. If you're going to go the cheaper brands though with legs, I would just get a Kings or an XTM, just the one-way awnings. Just because if they break, you're not reaching into your pocket too badly if you really, really are desperate on an awning.
For the Ranger specifically, like we said before, we are potentially looking at getting an awning for it. We've been looking at the Bushwhacker Total Darkness one with the D-ring zip so that it has rooftop tent entry still, because we have our ladder at the back of our canopy, not on the side. So we need the rooftop tent access to still obviously be able to use it. So we've been looking at that one. That one is about $1,600, which I feel is pretty good price. It's not over $2,000. It's not crazy. Obviously, it's more than some people can afford.
And it's more than some people will spend on some shade as well.
Yeah. But for quality, we've looked at these a couple of times at full drive shows and we found that they're quite good quality. They're strong. And what we're looking at, I think that's what we'll end up going with if we do get one.
Possibly in the future. Another one we've been looking at is the 23-0 tents. They look quite well built as well. And they've also got a D-ring style 270. Not 100%, as we said earlier, set on the 270, just because we've had issues in the past. We will need to do a lot more research and would like to see a lot more setups of the 270s on them, like not in the showroom floor, like actually being used in the wild.
We have a few family friends that have the 23-0 awnings and love them and have had no issues with them. So that's a positive note on them.
And they're about the same price, around about that $1,600 to $2,000 mark as well. If we were going to put a freestanding awning on the cars, that's probably where we'll go. Just with our experience, don't want to spend the cheap money and break, but at the same time, we don't use it every day. So that's just where we're a bit hesitant in buying one.
Yeah. And that's where a big thing is just doing your research. Obviously, seeing the product in person, being able to sort of test them out and being able to look at the actual quality of the product is important, along with, as we said, we can give our recommendations, but that doesn't mean that they're going to work for you. So yeah. I would just suggest doing your own research and not rushing into buying something and that you might regret buying.
Yes, because that's pretty much where we're at with that, our 270 awning.
Yeah.
Didn't use it enough. It has broken. We have done some DIY repairs on it, but it has broken.
Yeah.
And
it's something that we thought we needed. Everyone else had them, so we're like, we need one too. And we didn't realize we didn't need it, and we probably could have saved that money and spent it on something else. So that's where I would just recommend doing your research before buying something. And that goes with everything, not just Zeros or awning. All of your camping gear, car accessories and that. Make sure you do your research because you don't want to get something
that you don't want to get ripped off.
Don't want to get ripped off. You don't want to lose your money. And also you don't want something that's going to damage your car. All right, guys, so we're going to leave it here. We hope that you have learnt something today or have gained some information on gazebos or awnings and can help you either make that decision on what you need for what type of camping or full driving or adventuring that you're going to do, something that fits what you need with some of our recommendations. And also do your own research.
Don't forget to do your own research and measure everything. Make sure if you buy a big gazebo, it will fit in your car or fit on your car. And you can hold the weight as well with the awnings. Make sure you can hold the weight if you decide to buy a big awning.
Anyway, if you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers for watching.